So this is the new 4th generation Bentley Flying Spur Speed. It oozes luxury, it's got great performance, and the wonderful people at Bentley have supplied one with Mulliner touch all over it, just to show you what's possible when it comes to customizing this and making it your own. So this particular package here will cost you around $244,000 with all the extras that's been added as well. So we have this patina OV magnetic dual tone paintwork with chrome brightwear to the exterior. And it's complemented with that 22-inch painted and polished Mulliner wheels, which looks absolutely fantastic. On the inside, we have a dual tone cabin in linen and beluga leather, detailed with contrast stitching in camel, finished in grand piano black fascias with Mulliner overlays. The dual tone alone costs £24,990, and it also has that Naim Bentley premium audio system, which costs £7,210. And then over the side, we have the Bentley written on here, but underneath this, so if I unlock the car, you see the winged B logo popping out, which also lights up as well, which is a nice touch. What's also cool about this is it's got the anti-theft system, which means if I try to grab it, it will just hide itself like that, so you can't steal it, which is a good touch. And then you can see also, there we have the crystallized headlights here, which looks absolutely luxurious. We move over to the side, we see some more touches here. So like I said, the wheels looks really nice. The Mulliner finished alloys there. It's got the B logo there as well. This is really big, 22-inch alloys. We've got Mulliner written here as well. One thing I didn't like though is this finishing here. It's all plastic here. It would have been nice if this was a bit more premium with some sort of metal finishing or something like that. That would have been a really nice touch to have. As you can see, this is a long car as well, so it takes up a lot of space. So when it comes to the length, we're talking 5,313 millimeters. And when it comes to the width, we're talking 2,220 millimeters. And then over here, we get the charging ports, which allows you to drive 47 miles on electric only, which isn't too bad. So for people that will be buying this car, I suspect they'll have plug-in system at home, which means they can charge it overnight and be able to drive up to 47 miles, just, you know, nipping out and about, that kind of stuff. And then we have Bentley nicely, neatly written on the back here. It's nicely compact as well if you see it from distance, which I kind of like. And this B logo is also the button that you press to get in the boot. So, like so, nice and easy. And you can see there, it's got loads of stuff in there, like my golf bag and that kind of stuff. I've been traveling with it. But the kind of space you get in here is not that practical. So you don't get a lot of space in there, sadly. So it goes inside just a little bit, but not all the way in. It's got a big aperture opening as well to store things in there to get in easily and out easily, which isn't too bad. But in terms of the space, we're talking around 346 litres of boot space in there. So as you can imagine, you're not going to be able to store a lot of stuff on here when it comes to transporting larger items. But it is what it is. This car is meant to be, you know, you're meant to be driven in it and just have that comfort and luxury level of experience when you're driving the car. Here we are in the back seat, and there's so much going on here to make it as comfortable as possible and make this something that you can either, you know, live in terms of just be comfortable for long journeys, or just something that you can work from as well. So it's got a bit of both in terms of like business use and just, you know, leisure as well. And I love the way they've kind of segregated the front from the back. In terms of the roof here, it's controlled at the back. So you have your own sort of sunroof here, and then the front passengers, they have their own sunroof as well. And then here we have loads of controls to control different things. Like for example, you get all these buttons here to adjust the seat to make yourself as comfortable as you can be. You can store the memory into memory settings as well. And then we've got Naim sound system here. And also there's a coat hanger here, so you can hook up your coat there, or a suit, a blazer, or whatever it is when you get in the car. There's also an option here for your mirror with lights as well. So if you want to top up your makeup or whatever it is, you can check yourself before that most important meeting or interview or whatever. So you got all that there as well. And then if we look at this tray here, you can also release it. So if I just press that, that's electronically controlled, which is really nice. It's got this nice leather finishing to it as well. You can see the light already on there as well, which flash, which is quite nice. But yeah, I digress. This is also there as well, so you can place your laptop, for example, or whatever it is, or even food. So if you want to have your McDonald's, you can have it there as well. And then you can adjust it to different levels. So you press it, press and hold, you can keep going. I don't know why you'd have it this way, but yeah, you can do that, and then press and hold it completely to have it to fully retract back up. What's missing here though is a foot rest. Maybe that's something you can customize. I'm not entirely sure, but it's missing a footrest on this one. The headrest as well is cushioned, which is really nice. It's got plenty of space for your feet, for your knees, for your legs, and so on. And underneath here, we can open the armrest as well. And then we have space to store things. You've got 2 USB-C ports there. By the way, this is configured to have these 2 seats at the back, so I think you can configure it for different layouts as well. But if it's something that is just for you and you're being chauffeured everywhere, then this is probably the configuration that you'd have. Got wireless charging here, you got control here as well to control things like your climate and all that kind of settings. You can control things like media, the climate, the seats, for example. You can even control that flying bee at the front as well if you want to. But most importantly, what's cool is you can also detach this screen and take it out of its place like so. So you can have it in your hand, and you can even use this from outside of the car as well, which is kind of neat actually. But yeah, this is a nice touch. And then you get the chrome finishing on the back as well. Some of the things that's missing for me here is just the finishing on some of this material where it's a bit plasticky there as well. And then we'd get 2 cup holders there, so you can put your McDonald's cup there, and if there's nothing, you can just close it back up to keep things hidden away, which is cool. And then you can see the material, the stitching, it's ventilated as well, really nice, and you can have a massage there as well. So honestly, they've built it in a way that just makes you feel comfortable for long journeys, and it's just really nice. You can adjust the backrest, look at that. A bit slow, but it's really nice. And then you can slide this forwards and backwards, so you can sort of recline a little bit if you want to recline. So if you want to have a quick nap, you can just sit here comfortably well. Honestly, it's who's in luxury and comfort. So that's something that they've done really well, and they've nailed it here. And I like this finish in the color. It feels nice and serene and just clean. It's just really nice back here. For the front passenger and the driver, they also have this luxurious experience. We're talking this leather finishing and stitching on the steering, which looks really nice. This is also heated as well, which is cool. The armrests can also be spec'd to be heated, which again adds to the element of how comfortable you're going to be when you're driving. We have head-up display over there. We have this Mulliner branded Bentley clock on the front, and then we've got a big display here as well. I think it's like 12 point something inches, but it's not something that it's new. This is something that we're used to in terms of the front cabin here. We have 2 USB-C ports there, wireless charging is over there as well. We get this choker again all around here. It's probably not the official name for it, but that's what that reminds me of. Anyway, we get a mixture of buttons and touchscreen experience, so we can control things by swiping across and touching away and whatnot. But we also get a bunch of buttons here. For example, this button here, that's the screen. You press that, it flips over the screen, so you get this analog feature here, which means less distraction when you're driving, if you know where you're going. And then you can press that again to open up the digital display. It supports Apple CarPlay, Android Auto as well. We got some more buttons there, dials. And then over on this side, there's a lot going on here. We have buttons for the climate control. There's a lot of buttons just for the climate control on either side. That could have been consolidated, I think. And then we get buttons here for the blinds. We've got start, stop there. And then you can change the drive mode from sports to Bentley to comforts to custom. Sports meaning everything is dialed up. Bentley is everything is kind of just halfway, you know, just balanced basically. And then you got comfort mode, which is very straightforward in terms of what that means. And then custom, which means you can set things yourself to make it as just the way that you want it to be. And then we get the E mode as well. So if you want it to be pure electric mode, you can press that. And then there's also another mode in there as well, which allows you to go between saved mode, which means it's going to save the amount of battery you got left. So that way, when you actually need it, you can activate it again and go pure EV mode. And you got your parking sensor stuff, and then camera to look around the car, and driver assistance system as well. So you can customize all that. Then we get 2 cup holders here, so you can store things. And then there's nothing underneath here. So it's kind of a shame, really. I'd love to have another space there to store things, but there is a little gap here, which means you can store whatever you want. So on my side, I put the key there whenever I'm driving. And then this can slide forwards and backwards, again, to make it nice and comfortable. But obviously, if you have something that's quite high up here, there's only so far you can go. So for example, if I place my phone there, this way, it means you can't slide that forward. So that's a shame there. That's something to bear in mind. Kind of like this gear shifter. I love the parking symbol there, and then the Bentley logo's there as well, which is the one that you press before you can shift the gears or transmission. And then over here as well, we get this nice finishing on the stalks, which has got this like groove on it as well, like a diamond sort of cut finishing, which is nice. And then the display in front of us as well can be modified, so you can go across and show different things on that area. You got subtle touches here and there, like on the mat, we've got a B logo on there as well. On the pedal here, there's a B logo on there again. And then on my side here is where you can control the seats, and loads of controls for the seats as well to make you nice and comfortable. You got seat massage here as well. It's ventilated and heated if you need to do so. One thing I didn't really like though is this glossy finish all around the car, which means it's just prone to all the fingerprints. So you're gonna have to keep wiping that if you're someone like me who just hates seeing fingerprints everywhere. And sunroof there as well. So yeah, really nice and luxurious. And again, I love the finishing, the colors and everything, the material that's used all around here, really nice in there. So it's very, very luxurious here. Boy, I feel like a chauffeur right now because this car on the road is probably one of the smoothest cars I've been in. It just drives so nicely. It's nice and quiet in here. It's nice and serene in here, which is amazing. If you stick in E mode only, it's even quieter. So this, with that 22-inch alloys, I was expecting a lot of road noise, but actually it's kept to the bare minimal. So you don't really hear anything. And even the big wing mirrors, it doesn't allow for wind noise as such, which I think is incredible that they've managed to achieve that. But then again, what do you expect from a luxurious car like this one that's meant to be nice and comfortable? Anyway, some numbers to get out of the way. We have a 4-litre twin turbocharged V8 engine in here with 140 kilowatts electric motor in there, bolted on as well, which is really nice because it all works together in synergy to give you something that's powerful. We're talking 1,000 Newton meters of torque here. We're talking 0 to 62 in 3.3 seconds. And also, this is 771 brake horsepower. There's a whole lot of power in this thing. And it sounds absolutely fantastic as well. I know it's only a V8, which is not what we used to have. I think it was like the W12 engine. It's not that anymore. So it still sounds really good. For example, it's a chameleon. So right now, it's driving nice and quietly, nice and smoothly, whatever you want to do, just calm. But then when you're ready to fully send it, you can just put your foot down. And it just sounds really good. And there's barely any lag as well. You put your foot down, you feel that kick in straight away, ready to go, all the power, ready to send, and you feel what this thing is actually capable of. And for such a heavy, big, long car, it's incredible to see you go because you're just like, wow, you think, what is that? I've seen people's reaction on the motorway when when I'm overtaken and all that kind of stuff, and people just look at it like, wow. And then talking about looks as well, it turns heads everywhere this is being parked up or whatever. You get comments and people look at it and appreciate the car as well. It looks really nice on the road. But anyway, in terms of performance though, I think it does a great job at handling. It's very, very agile for such a big car and a long vehicle as well. Handling is great when turning and maneuvering around bends and corners. It's absolutely fantastic. It's a car that can almost do it all. And it might be one of the best cars that Bentley have actually developed. This is a fantastic all-rounder and I like it. If there's anything negative I have to say about the car, it's the fact that it's not as practical as you'd expect it to be. So we're talking that small boot space you get in the back, and even with my sitting position, you get good space in the back, but if you get someone that's taller than me, they're gonna need to adjust the seat, which then compromises the people at the back. And you can only fit 2 people at the back in this one as well. I know it's the configuration that they've opted for this particular press loaner. If I was to dial this to sport mode, woo, the steering becomes a bit stiffer, and there's that nice steering ratio as well. So the driver input is just so good. The connection between you and the wheels as you're turning is just really nice. And there's no random veering anywhere. So I can just do this, for example, and it's not veering to the wrong side of the road and all that kind of stuff. And one thing that this is good at as well is being super comfortable, like I mentioned already. So for example, going over speed bumps and stuff, even in London with those potholes everywhere, it just glides over it. You don't feel anything. It's just really nice and comfortable. Because it's got the air suspension with I think it's twin valve or something like that for the dampers, it just reacts very quickly and it's just so good at being comfortable. And when you need it to give you more power, like I said, stick into sport mode, and it just wants to go, which is absolutely fantastic. Visibility is good as well in terms of the pillars not blocking you or anything. I like the size of the mirror, the back window is good as well. The brakes are really good as well. So if you're going at high speed or whatever and you tap it, it's a really nice feeling to it in terms of, when you depress it as well. It does energy recuperation in this. So at first, you might get that first press that it just goes ever so slightly on its own, and then you can fully depress it on your own afterwards. For the battery in there, you get a 25.9 kilowatt hour battery usable, and that will give you around 47 miles on the WLTP. You don't always get that, obviously, but you get close to it, which is not bad at all. The charging is not that fast. On fast charge, you're talking 2 hours, 45 minutes, which is okay, but not fast enough in my opinion. Domestic charging at home will vary depending on what setup you have at home, but rest assured that would take a bit longer as well. So that's something also to bear in mind. Besides that though, I think it's very comfortable. It sounds great. You do get some cheap bits like, plastic and bits like the vents and stuff, but you can ignore that. For £244,000, this is a whole lot of money, but you do get a whole lot for your car in this one. And with that Mulliner edition, that sort of taste to it, added to it, you can customize it to make it your own, the paintwork, the additions, the little things you can add in the car as well. You can make that completely your own, which I think is a nice touch when buying something like this. But I think overall, great car, fantastic car. It's something that I would consider if I had that kind of money. But over to you though. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Would you get something like this? What do you think of the design? Let me know in the comments below. In the meantime, make sure you like, subscribe, share, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.